Kid and Taco, they bring that heat. All about UFC, way more than a fantasy. Let's see who going toe to toe. Throw down on the mat, check the replay, run it back. We gotta check the stats. Hey, do this every day. We ain't come to play. This is sports talk, and we love talking MMA. Everything fantasy sports. Dopest show that I know. With Electric Dave and talented Mr. Taco. Let's go. Hey, G.
Woo! All right, everybody, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we are here to recap this Knicks versus Hawks game and series and season. And yeesh sounds like a fucking perfect description. I am the talented Mr. Taco. We have Electric Dave on here, repping Vegas, but by way of New York.
Hey, yeah, a little bit. Come on.
And then we got our boy Scotty Dividends
In the house, baby.
Our big UFC parlay guy. He's gonna have something a little cooked up for you guys coming up for this next couple of fights. We'll have some spicy bets for this Izzy fight coming up. But before we get to that, we have to talk about the beatdown in the Garden. The Hawks came in and they ate our food. They literally said, "Nah, y'all are bugging. Y'all thought you had something." And they took everything from us. They snatched our hearts and they sent us back home with nothing but a doggy bag. And
you gotta hit it.
Nothing but fries left over in the plate.
Bro, we got the cold fries. And we got the McDonald's ones, so it's not even the good ones. I mean, we don't even get the Burger King or like the Checkers. So I mean, first and foremost, I mean, how do you feel, Dave? I know you had some passionate opinions on how this game broke down, especially with Randall. So what do you got for me here?
When we were talking a little bit about it, it's almost like they couldn't find their stride. You know what I mean? Like they couldn't get open shots. They obviously are two Batman and Robin over there, RJ and Randall. You know, they just had a horrible series. You know, I think one of the things that I was saying this year, all year, I was a little harder on Randall than you were. And yes, although he is an all-star, because that's what he is, he didn't show up like an all-star, you know? And that's the big thing. If we're talking about the Garden and how loud it was and all this, and New York, we hear, like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's obviously nothing personal. We're talking about on the court. Randall did not show up, and he wasn't. Honestly, to me, it was a major letdown as a Knicks fan. That's how I feel. I mean, obviously, his numbers and his stat line speak for itself. 8 for 21. Man, it was horrible.
Bro, look at the whole stat line. It's actually horrible for the whole team.
Yeah, and I'll actually read it off for you guys right now. So, Julius Randle played 37 minutes in this game. He shot 8 of 21 from the field. He went 3 of 9 from 3-point range. He did go 4 of 4 from the free throw line. He had 3 offensive rebounds, 10 defensive rebounds for 13 rebounds in total. So he did rebound the ball well. He had 3 assists, but he had 8 turnovers in this game. He was negative 14.
So he had the same amount of field goals as he had turnovers.
There you go. You called it earlier.
Wow.
You know, Scotty Dividends over there laid it out for real.
I had to shed a tear during the third quarter because I heard my man Reggie say, "Yo, they have more turnovers than they have field goals in the third quarter."
Bro, the third quarter again for the back-to-back games now. We've been bent over the knee and spanked hard in the third quarter, bro. It's been absolutely insane. They introduced us to the tool shed again because we were going into these games with 4 and 5 point deficits, and all of a sudden we can't stop anything. We can't score anything. It's like they basically looked at our game plan at halftime and said, "Guess what? Now we're going to stop you, and what else are you going to do?" And we couldn't do anything about it. It was the same offense that was consistently being run. We didn't have any wrinkles that we developed as the series went on to show some different looks, and it really showed. In the way that we lost this game. This is a bad loss.
What's crazy about the game, if you look at how bad it was too, like you got Bogdanovich, who went 1 for 7. You got Trey, who went 10 for 28. Like he didn't even have a shutdown night. Still scored 30.
They didn't even have their best game.
Gallinari went over 7.
Like, come on, bro.
Wow, I didn't even see that.
Yeah,
he wasn't even hitting his threes. Like 3 for 11.
But Trae Young had 13 free throws made,
that's
which
what I was
was
going to say. I
a huge difference.
Yeah, that was a big difference, I think, all series long. All the fouls, even at the Garden, if you watch game 2, I think, or game 1, I mean, no calls were going the Knicks' way. No calls. When you got an all-star, those calls get called. They do. Trey was getting calls. No matter. I mean, you saw that stop in the pick and roll. Man, stopped and pulled up, and they called, 3. Come on, man. Like, I got you. All right, maybe it's a foul. But if that's the case, if we're calling that 3-point shots like that, at the end of the day, I think that the league's going to have – I mean, why not? Why doesn't every player just stop and pull up like that on the pick and roll? Straight up. I mean, I would stop and pull up every time on the pick and roll. I mean, not the pick and roll. When you set the pick behind the 3-point line, and you know what I mean? It's kind of like the scoop and I don't know. I just thought that was a ridiculous foul call late
Randall
in the game.
actually, I saw Randall try that, and he actually got called for an offensive foul. The same thing that Trae Young does.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I will say Randall's was a little bit more. If we're talking about the one late, that one was a little bit more where he did elbow and but we see those calls go the other way. This series we've seen them go the other way. So you're right. You know what I mean? It's just it was a bad game all around, guys. I definitely wasn't happy to see our performance.
If it was any game that we could have stole, it was this game. They, like you said, like Gallinari 0 for 7. Like they scored total 103, and I think that's probably one of Atlanta's most lowest scoring games. If any game that we should have dominated, it was this. But we missed so many field goals as a team. I really wish I knew what was up with these guys. And this guy right here, man.
Yeah. Scotty Dividend.
Somebody anybody want this? Because this guy, he didn't show up. He didn't show up. I think somebody needs to knock on his door at home and wake him up. Because I don't know who came to the game today, but that wasn't this guy.
Listen, then what can you say about Reggie Bullock, who was our number one? He was our number one 3-point shooter throughout the regular season.
Role player, bro.
Listen, Reggie Bullock was our starter. He played about almost 35 minutes a game, 30 minutes a game. He was our best 3-point shooter. He was someone that we really relied upon.
That's what happens when your best 3-point shooter is Reggie Bullock. That's what I'm talking about. Like, bro, come on. I mean, you talking about Reggie Miller over there. I mean,
when you say it from that perspective, you shouldn't be mad about this because you know that you were talent deficient.
I tried to tell you this early on, but you tried to sell me a bill of goods, bro. You tried to tell me that Randall was the way, that he should have been MVP. Right from the beginning, you were talking about he was better than AD. You were telling me this from the beginning of the season.
Whoa.
He outplayed AD this season.
Okay, he literally put up stats and tried to match AD next to it. And that's the craziness that I'm talking about.
What?
Bro, I still have the tweet, so it's up.
I mean, from the beginning of the season, yes, he performed at high levels. Yes, that's what he performed as. His season that he performed as was fucking
I can't co-sign.
He had a better year than AD.
Thank you, bro. Here's my point.
AD.
Yeah, bro.
He had a better year than AD this season. Yes,
bro.
AD was out most of the season.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay, but are you being serious? On paper. You heard him say the first half of the season, bro. All-stars are all-stars through and through, bro. It's not one of those where you just don't show up games like that. Like, even when he was in New Orleans, AD was showing up.
Listen, no one ever actually meant that he was better than Anthony Davis.
I don't know.
No. Show me that tweet. Yeah, go ahead.
You mean this season?
I would never.
You mean this season? He's been showing out more than. Yeah, I agree with that.
Right, AD is like a top 5 all time. Like,
but
they
do call that comment.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't say
that Randall was better than Anthony Davis? No,
it's on Twitter.
Go ahead, show me where I said he's better than Anthony Davis.
All right, I'm gonna tag you on it because I'm gonna retweet your tweet.
Go ahead.
I forgot it. On TNT, Chuck was like, "Yo, he calls Anthony Davis street clothes."
Street clothes, bro. That was hilarious.
That was funny.
I think that when we look at Anthony Davis, man, he's taking a lot of heat from Laker fans in regards to him not being able to play in that series and what happened with him this season because it caused him to slide so far down in the standings. He missed almost like 30 games, but this is about the Knicks, so
yes.
Let's not.
I'm just saying in general. What I meant to say with that comparison is that the reality is that we need somebody in New York that really you can give the ball to that can go out and get you and stop an 8-0 run or 8-1 run like Atlanta had late on the third, where we still had the opportunity to get back into the game. Randall was pressing, trying to find Bullock to get a three, and bro, I mean, even when he was pressing to do that, he was turning the ball over. And then on top of that, right, when he wasn't turning the ball over and Bullock was getting an open look, he was missing the three. So, I mean, this is my point in what I'm saying, that, like, really, we need –
I mean, Bullock was 4 from 8 from three-point range.
Bro, it doesn't matter. I'm talking about late in the game when we needed those buckets. Okay, he's 4 for 8. He made 4 of those 8 in the first half. Like, we're talking about late, clutch game, late. We needed to – obviously, we fell behind. So, clearly, we weren't playing good in general. But when you need a bucket, you give it to LeBron to go get that bucket. You give it to AD, and you're gonna get that bucket.
Really?
You get what I'm saying? Even Chris Paul, I know. I'm just trying to make a point. And what I'm saying that now we're in the peanut gallery now, right? So now we get to discuss not just the game. We get to discuss and say, what do we need to not have these type of embarrassing losses at MSG? Because I didn't like it. I didn't like somebody coming out from the opposing side, coming in there and straight up quieting the crowd and telling us to be quiet, taking a bow, and just pretty much telling us to guard. And y'all need to take a back seat to Atlanta.
Oh, that got me hot, bro.
It's just
I mean, as much as I didn't like it, I kind of did love it too because you know what? The Garden gave Trey the sass, and Trey said,
"Listen,
bro, chill."
No, listen. Hey,
so
credit to Trey. I'm not saying that Trey
we got to eat that humble pie right now, and just like you said, kind of see.
I'm not eating no humble pie. I'm saying we need to get better. We need to get better, and we need to not live with the fucking. Excuse my language, but we're not monetized anyways. Who cares? We need to live with. We can't live with just a mediocre squad. Is what I'm saying. Yes, we're good enough to get into the playoffs. Maybe get one win. Is that what we want? Reggie Miller mentioned it in the broadcast, and he said the Knicks have been to the playoffs 6 times in the last 20 seasons, 20 years. So what does that tell you? I mean, come on, we can't live with that. You know what I'm saying?
I think, I don't want to give props to Trae Young alone because that whole team, that whole Atlanta team, Bogdanovich, Gallinari, they've really been putting in work. And I'm going to stick to my story. I don't like Trae Young. I don't think that Trae Young is the reason they won. Trae Young is a he goes for the fouls a lot, bro, and he gets away with it. I think Bogdanovich has been putting in work. Lou Will off the bench. Like this whole
hold on.
Not today, maybe, but throughout the 4 games, I think as a team they did it together. They really
true. But Trey was eating us alive. He basically took the high pick and roll every single game, and he's either getting a lob to Capella or he was getting a floater in the lane.
Wait. Look, from the free throw line, he's the only one in double digits.
What are you talking about, Taco?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Yeah,
because he creates too much pressure.
That's his game.
Bro. I'm
gonna go out on a limb and say fuck Trae Young, bro, for real.
All day.
For real, for life.
Co-sign that. Co-sign.
I think Atlanta beat us as a team. I don't think Trae Young did
I agree with that all day. And honestly, don't come out here.
Call me salty, but
call me salty too. But when you got 15 free throw shots,
double digits.
Come on, bro. I mean, 15 might be more than Randall got in the last 2 games combined. Combine them. Go look at game 4. I'm telling you.
We can look at game 4 right now.
Yeah, we can. Let me see. Randall got 4 shots from the line, okay? And my man got 15, okay? Let's go to game 4 real quick. Ain't that date? What is it? 3 on the can you even go back that far?
No, wait, June. It was May 30th.
All right, let's see here.
Just click on the next.
If he has another double digit, oh man, that'll just prove my point right there. If he has another double digit free throw bullshit,
It's almost guaranteed. Look at that box score.
Let's see here.
Why was Mayor DiBalazzo talking about? Okay, so he got nothing.
7 of 9.
Okay, so
go to Trae Young though.
Shots, bro. In the past,
go to Trae Young. Oh, look at that.
5 of 5.
5 of 5. Okay, yeah, but still,
okay. All right.
Listen, no, but still.
But look at this other game. He had 27 points, 9 assists. What he did is he not only did he score, but he created for others. John Collins stepped up as a really solid third option. Clint Capella played his ass off. He dominated in the paint all series. He was gaining like 15 rebounds a game. He was blocking shots. He was deterring people at the rim. I do agree with you. It was a team effort, but Trae Young really set the table, and Trae Young didn't shoot well at all. He didn't shoot well at all this series, but you know what? They made enough plays to get the job done.
Can I ask a question then, Taco? Sure. What do you think?
He likes
do you think that we could have done something different, or was this just inevitable?
I think it's
good question.
I think that it was
partly inevitable. Don't give me that 50-50. You got to pick a side on a question like that.
Was it an inevitable loss, or was there something that we could have done different for us to pull out the win?
Listen, that's one thing. That's one thing that I can definitely say and I can agree with is that we didn't make any adjustments in how we played Trae Young. We played Trae Young the same every single one of these 5 games.
That's true.
We didn't see any different double teams. I didn't see any traps. I didn't see them forcing the ball out of his hands. I don't see them understanding, hey, when he gets down to the middle of the lane, he's going to either pass it off or throw it up. So why don't we stop him high and make him a 3-point shooter from range? Because if we saw his numbers, he wasn't shooting good from range 4 of 14 in the other game. So they did that partially because he did shoot a lot of 3-pointers, but at the end of the day, they just weren't able to get the job done. And a guy like John Collins and Dino Gallinari really stepped up. The problem for that with us is that we don't have second and third scoring options on our team. Every game that we look at it, it's like if RJ Barrett and Julius Randle aren't it, there is nobody else. And Derrick Rose, those are the 3 only guys that have been scoring. Reggie Bullock was a consistent no-show. Noel and Gibson aren't offensive options. When we pulled in guys like Alec Burks, he stopped shooting after the first couple games. So it really kind of hurt us. So when we're looking at it to get secondary offense, one game Gallinari's off and the other game, John Collins is on. And they just have enough guys. And I hate to say this because you guys are hating on him. Trae Young was consistent enough in his point production and assist production that he was able to get his guys in there because he was consistently putting up 9 assists and 20 points and getting his guys enough points in order to win these games.
So let me ask you this then. Do you think that Atlanta could do the same thing that they did to the Knicks to any other team right now?
No.
In the playoffs?
No. They were just talking about it in group chat. They were saying, watch out for the Hawks. The Hawks are going to beat the Sixers. Or could beat the Sixers if there's no Joel Embiid. If there's Joel Embiid, obviously it's no question. They don't even come close to the Sixers. But without Joel Embiid, I think the one thing everyone's forgetting is that Ben Simmons is going to shut Trae the fuck down.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Simmons is going to put clamps on this dude. He ain't going to be able to shoot. He won't be able to take it to the rim, and it's going to really change the way this whole offense plays. And a lot now is going to be based on their secondary guys having to show up.
Listen, I mean, I think
that sounds like big facts, bro.
You guys both made big points. I think a lot of times too, when we were looking for a second or even third option, I mean, Toppin is gets 20 minutes. There's a couple of open looks, that he came up.
They played a lot of garbage time in this game. This was
he's 5 for 8 though. He's 5 for 8.
Yeah, no. I like Toppin a lot. We were talking about him last.
I like him.
I like him too.
I think
he's developing a lot. And they were giving him some open, not open. He goes out there. He's one of those guys that goes out there and creates his points. You know what I'm saying? Goes out there off the miss. And then sometimes when they need that little open 3, he's he can actually drain it. So I don't know. I agree. We don't have a second. We don't have a third. We don't have a fourth.
We need offense.
Yeah, we need offense.
We need more offense.
Desperately.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot more options in offense.
Yeah, our big men too. Like, I was talking about Gibson. He had a good game. The game that we won. But
was probably his worst game, right?
Yeah, Taj Gibson is old, bro. Like,
but you gotta also remember this. Mitchell Robinson is out. So we're talking about Taj Gibson. He's
Bro,
our backup. You
bro,
can't say he's our third string guy.
I got you.
Nerlens Noel is our backup, and Mitch is so I
know.
can't give Gibson shit when it's like,
I'm
bro,
not-
you're stepping up to fill in.
I'm not giving Gibson shit. I'm just saying in general for the team that we need a lot. We need some shakeups. If everybody's trying to give credit to the front office about how well we did, I mean, they were. If you guys remember when Carmelo was at the Garden and we won that one game with him in the playoffs, they were giving him so much crap because we won one game. Same thing happened here, just a different year. So we can't give all this credit to the front office. We need to get better. And
I mean,
okay, I'm not saying that we didn't get better. We got better, but we can't stop here. If you're talking about telling me that, oh, we don't have a second or third option, how are you comfortable with that next season? What are you giving me next season? The same thing?
We need something.
Yeah, man.
But see that I think that's an unfair thing because when you come into this season, because here's why. This team came in with the lowest payroll in the NBA. We came in with so much expectations.
Wait,
and we exceeded every.
We came in? We had the lowest payroll?
We had the lowest payroll in the NBA. We spent the least amount of money on talent. The Knicks came in, and guess what? They outperformed everything. So now for us to lose in the playoff, I'm not going to sit here and berate this team when I know that, hey, what? We're ahead of schedule. We shouldn't have even been in the playoff.
We are ahead.
We shouldn't have even been there. And guess what? Because they played so good, they got there, and they got their doors blown off because, guess, we do need more talent. Absolutely. But you know what? We have 2 picks coming up in the first round of this draft. We have a lot of cap space coming up, and we have to go out there and make a trade.
I'm going to tell you why people like you are why we're so bad, okay? Because people like you, beginning of the season, started yelling and clamoring about how great our team is with just Randall, right? And you start giving all this credit to the front office.
We should pay for the draft pick.
Let me finish because I let you finish. So Randall, yes, clap. The man was good. One season, unexpected. And I'm not saying he's not a good player, but he's not an all-star, show up when the chips are in, let's go. This guy wasn't ready to play. You can't have 4 bad games. You could have maybe 2 bad games, but you have 4, 5 bad games. You didn't show up. I don't care what you can't tell me that that's enough firepower, and you can't tell me that this is a great team.
It wasn't.
You know what he was? He was a false star.
I mean, for real, that's exactly what he was. And the thing is,
he was someone that needs help.
You're the one that sits there and says that this is a good enough team. Like, good enough team for what? Are we trying to win titles or are we trying to go to the playoffs?
No one ever said it's a good enough team, though. They've never once said it's a good enough team. They didn't win any money last season.
So as an NBA franchise, you know what we did, right? We mortgaged our future because we said we're going to get an all-star. We were going to get KD. We landed Randall. Everybody was like, oh, the Knicks struck out. All of a sudden, Randall becomes an all-star. Oh, we're ahead of schedule and all this. Ahead of schedule, right. We're not ahead of anything. My point is we won 1 playoff game and we got into the playoffs, but we did nothing other than we got into the playoffs.
Yes,
we need to get into the Eastern Conference Finals. We need to win the division.
Yeah.
And the only way we're going to do that is not having Brett Bullock as our primary shooting 3-point shooter. You can't tell me that I'm talking crazy.
See, like you are talking crazy because think about this. We shouldn't have been in the playoffs, and we were in the playoffs.
I almost fell back on my seat when you said that.
Yeah, because you're sitting here talking about this team. We didn't spend the money. This was supposed to be the offseason that we did bad. This was really supposed to be the year that we did bad. We got a good draft pick with all these top stars that were in the lottery. That's what the plan was. And they outplayed their performances and they put us in this situation. Realistically, that's what happened. The front office was expecting to have a top 5 pick coming into this draft. That's why they spent no money. That's why they bought Reggie Bullock to be the second fucking option. They literally said, let's get Cade. But you know what happened? The Knicks fucking won. They won. They weren't supposed to win, and they kept winning. Like, you know what our consolation prize? A first round out and no draft picks and no one coming, and it's the same nonsense over and over because we should have just lost. Like I said, we should have tanked. This is what I cried for. I said, let's lose. And they said, you're a loser for wanting to lose. You're a loser. But you know what now? Look at it. We lost.
I wish that we did the Sixers way and we said, trust the process and just started tanking because everybody was talking how terrible the Sixers were for tanking. And look at where the Sixers are, right? But they never I think New York us as a Knicks franchise, we've never focused on just overall improving year upon year. We get people like this, like Bullock. We get people like Taj Gibson. You know, it's enough with the nonsense. I'm tired of it. I'm sorry.
You think that since we did make the playoffs magically, that increases our chances of getting a star? Because I just want one right now, and do you think that that's gonna help us? It's like I'm asking Santa.
Like, you know what? I felt all of your pain in that question because I am feeling that pain, and that's where that anger is coming from. And Taco for years has gone back and forth with me about how great, Ronaldo Balkman was, how great Randall is, how great. Listen. I genuinely think that it's a little bit different than when Melo was here. I think that our stock did rise a little bit. I think, even the Trae Young of the world, right? When they were at the Garden talking about the Garden, they talk a good vibe about how important it is to have good basketball at MSG. And I think more people in the front office that know what they're doing are there. So I don't think that we're going to be complacent like Taco's giving all this credit to our teams for. You're giving a lot more credit than needs to be deserved. We only won one game, and there's things that need to happen to change the dynamic of the team.
We're supposed to win 22 games.
Here's the thing.
They won 45.
Back to
What the fuck are we talking about here?
You're okay with that.
Win.
Okay.
We're supposed to be the worst team in basketball, and you made the playoffs.
This is what he does every year. Every year. We haven't made the playoffs in 7 years. And when we don't make the playoffs, you go, but we're gonna get Zion, but we're gonna get Cade, but we got an MVP already with Randall. You screwed up. This is what you do every year. Sick and tired of it.
But now, do you think we will get Zion, or we will get?
I think we will.
Because of what we did this year. Like,
I think
we should, right?
I think we'll get an upgrade from Julius. And if you gotta include Julius in a trade, ship him out of here. Get him out of here now because he showed up for those 5 games. That's the real Randall, and that's the real reason they got rid of him out of LA. Ship him out of here. His stock is high right now. Let's get his ass up out of here. Let's get us somebody that can go get us a bucket. Let's groom RJ to be in the All-Star that he should be. Don't throw that jersey out yet. We got time.
I won't. I wasn't going to. I'm just a little upset.
That's my real thought. Pop it quickly. What did he say?
He's only 20.
What'd
you say, Taco?
He's only 20.
Yeah.
I got you. I mean, Toppin, obviously, and Quickly, both, Lonzo's just all right. I mean, I would say that
yeah.
Bring him. I mean, if we were close to getting him.
Is this the free agent list right here?
Yeah.
Number 7.
Let's see the top from the top.
Let's see who we got.
Yeah.
That's a dream if we ask.
I like that.
I do like that.
Chris Paul.
I don't
think he's coming to the Knicks.
Yeah, because he got the player option. He's re-signing that.
DeMar DeRozan.
Forgot he existed.
Talk about wanting to get a bucket. He can't shoot the 3, but he can get you a bucket.
I like what Scotty Dividend said.
I totally forgot he existed, bro.
But you know what? I mean, you could say that, but he had 21 points and 7 assists during the season.
No, listen,
he's really becoming the primary playmaker.
I agree with
thinking out loud.
I know. I don't disagree, and that's no disrespect.
Kyle Lowry is also a free agent.
Yeah, 35, bro. I mean, at that point, let's quickly get more minutes, more playing time while we get Lowry.
You're talking about, I want to get better. I get Kyle Lowry for 2-3 years, and I let him groom quickly.
What do you pay him?
He's looking at $30 million last year. I would give him, honestly, $25 to $27 million a year for 3 years.
Yeah, I don't know that he's going to take a deal like that.
Maybe not. That's kind of where that's why also it kind of makes more sense that we fall right into that because also you have Conley who's going to be a free agent this year. John Collins is a free agent.
Get out of here. Keep scrolling on him.
But that's why I feel like Lonzo is that guy because price-wise and age-wise, he's 23 years old. He's coming off an improved season. He shot 37% from downtown.
Here's the thing.
But he's offense for us. He would be offense for us.
Yeah. I got you.
Reliable.
I agree with that.
He's the 7th ranked free agent here. Like it's him or like Kyle Lowry or Mike Conley. Like, you know, for me at 23 years old, this guy's upside.
But here's what I was gonna say, because you jumped right over DeMar DeRozan. I think DeRozan, like you said, when you want a bucket and you need one, that mid-range jump shot by DeRozan is always gonna drop.
But you gotta get both. That would be
I know. I agree.
That would be amazing.
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, if we could get both, or someone, at least two of the people in this top 10 list, then we're talking.
I want no part of Dennis Schroeder. You fucking bashing Julius Randle. This dude is like ultra not showing up.
I'm not good. I'm good.
No, and he wanted a max deal or some craziness. No.
Yeah, Spencer Dinwiddie would be someone that'd be interesting.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Evan Fournier will be interesting. But the Knicks will have a lot of big decisions ahead of them coming into the offseason.
Man, if he ever decided to, Trent Jr.
I like Lonzo for sure. Definitely, that's
the guy.
And you know DeRozan too. You're right. His bucket is for sure.
Exactly. I mean,
and he will be a star on the team.
Absolutely. I think we get somebody like DeRozan. I'll be happy with somebody like that, because at the end of the day, I'm sorry, Julius Randle's jump shot, that step back, you're not Harden. You're not hitting those all day, every day. And the problem is that he was also scared to take that shot when you needed to take that shot. So I feel like DeRozan, he's been in a big game moment. He's ready. You know, I think he's got a lot to prove. Obviously, not being a part of that championship Toronto team. I think he's got a chip on his shoulder coming to New York and just saying, "Hey, I'm here still." Like, maybe we keep Randle, whatever.
Before we even talk about Lonzo, before we talk about DeMar, it's hey Kawhi, you have the best marketing opportunity ever. Have you seen the Garden get lit, bro? Bro, just tell us no first before we do anything.
Yeah,
we can hear it from your lips.
We can dream,
right? Yeah. But you know what? As a front office, you have to hear no from his lips before you do anything. You have to make sure that you're telling me there's no chance you don't want to come play here, because I mean we're about to go, but like
I'll tell you what,
love you here.
I'll tell you real quick, Scotty. This is my bad. You know why I'm gonna tell you we ain't coming? Because we got fans like you that will come out here and say, we got Bullock. Come play here. Are you kidding me? Why would he come to New York?
Reggie Bullock is a free agent going into the season.
Why would he come here when we got people and fans like you that'll be like, Bullock is here? I mean, come on. You can play side by side with Bullock.
Dave keeps bringing back up Bullock. I feel so bad for this man.
Bro,
like, I for real, son. Like, what the hell did Reggie Bullock do bad to you, bro? He was literally our best 3-point shooter. Like, he's like, I hate the fact he was that good this season.
No, I don't. I just don't. I think players need to be placed in their place. And Charles Barkley does a good job at calling role players what they are. They're role players. You know, he said it to Kenny Smith when he went up there and he went to greet President Clinton. He said, bro, if I go up to Clinton and you go up to him, he definitely ain't going to know your name. And he got salty because Kenny Smith was a role player. I mean, he was, come on. And you over here talking about a guy that's 50 levels below him. And you over here talking about
I'm so confused here. Like, I understand that he's a role player, but
thank you.
He's a big role for us all season.
That's my point. So if Kawhi coming here, sell me the Knicks, other than the Garden and it's the Mecca. I want to win chips because to you, you're like every year, this is good enough. And that's what I'm saying. That mentality needs to go out the door. It's not good enough, and we need to get better, and we need to get better players. And you're over here sitting like, we could have got Cade. We could have got Cade. Come on, bro. Come on.
You're talking about, okay, so you're mad that we don't have a talented enough team, but then you want to get players. And you're like, well, there's no real free agents there, and there's top-end talent at the draft. So it's like literally either way you look at it, we either have to suck to get the good draft picks, or you play good enough to make the playoffs, which they were projected to win 22 fucking games, and they won 42.
Who made that projection line? Who makes these projection lines anyway?
Vegas! The sports bettors, the guys that get paid money to make these predictions.
Man, I'll tell you one thing: they're right a lot of the times too.
Yeah, they are. They are,
and they were off by 20 games. Yes,
bro, because
Reggie Bullock is a role player. But
that's exactly why. I was going to give you a reason why. It's Reggie Bullock why they thought it was only going to be 22 games.
Come
on, bro.
So then why are you mad at
Why are you
losing in the
sitting there telling
postseason? This is what I don't get.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
gonna send Electric Dave a Bullock jersey for Christmas.
I mean,
bro,
you sit there and tell me why Vegas set that line. Of course, I would have set the line at 15. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and why do you think I pushed for the tank?
Yeah, I got you, and I agree. Trust the idea is that we have had bad season upon bad season, and mediocre teams have not paid any dividends. So,
huh? So then you got what you wanted. You got a team that overachieved. They took you to the playoffs. You know, it's a good season. Yeah. We got to make some changes. We got to move it on.
I say we build on that. Is what I'm saying. I say we build on that.
We got to add to Reggie Bullock. We need Reggie Bullock and.
I think he's a role player. He made a couple threes here and there. He was consistently making 1 or 2 threes. We got a comment from Adrian over there. What do you say? Epic 45.
Keep going. Keep finish.
My bad. I thought he's dead. No, I'm just saying, listen, the thought process behind that is just we need to build on the foundation that we have here. Yes, we have a good glue to hopefully, hopefully we stick with these players, right? And we add to it. We don't go out there and say.
So you want to add to Reggie Bullock? I just want to confirm what you're saying.
Listen, I think Reggie Bullock, if he plays 10 to 15 minutes, that's good enough. Like his night shouldn't be 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just being real.
For the record, 38 minutes.
I like that. He was ready.
45 seconds. Crowd rises to cheer the Knicks. Trey steps back into the logo and drains the 3. Bows while standing on the Knicks logo. Turns the cheers of the Knicks into boos for him. Atlanta fans, I hope you enjoy. You deserve this victory. We got washed.
We did.
We didn't deserve to be here, but we made it here through hard work and perseverance. Talent-wise, I mean, we both know. Talent-wise, we got out-talented every single game of the series. And that's just where we have to get to. Dave's making the comparison to Reggie Bullock. Reggie Bullock is a pro. We respect what he's done, but no disrespect that we need more talented players. We need a guy that can get his own shot. We need a guy that can score, that can get 35 points for us. We need a guy like a Donovan Mitchell. We need a guy like a Jason Tatum. We need a guy like that can go out there and actually, when we need a clutch, get us a clutch. And that's the next
clutch,
right? And that's the next evolution. Maybe we mortgage the future to get Cade in the draft. Maybe we get a Suggs in the draft. We don't know what the game plan for the front office is, but they're gonna have to make some sort of deal. I could see them trading assets in order to move up to get a guy like Cade Cunningham because he is a point guard. He can create for others. He is 6'7". He can shoot.
That's an unrealistic scenario. I mean, this is just not something that
we have so many young guys. Like we have
3 picks this year. We have an extra pick in 2023. We have a decent amount of picks. We could deal off 5 picks.
All right, Adrian. I see you next. What's it called? Hawks fan. Okay.
You know what it was? I really think that it was the fact of how hard the team was playing and how well we had started to mesh. And then what happened was Julius Randle regressed during this series. He literally went from playing like an all-star to going back to 2019 or 2020 Julius Randle, where we saw him spinning into double teams, shooting inefficiently, not looking like a solid player.
Fouling a lot. Too.
Yeah, that's I think the biggest reason for people like Dave Zayers, because when we looked at a guy like Julius, we thought that maybe maybe this guy is it. Maybe he's not the best, but he's our guy, and he might be able to do this. And then you know what he did? He said, "He's not. I'm not your guy. I'm just a guy." You know what I mean?
Adrian,
that's perfect. That's
totally perfect comment that he said. That totally I can get behind. Then the one, get rid of the dead weight, and I agree. I totally agree. And that's exactly what I was saying. It's just I think that we need to get rid of those players that really, didn't show up and are not consistently good that you can go out there and get a bucket from, like we were talking about. I think you need a player that you can chuck the rock to if there's, and I'm not talking about obviously go out there and score, drop 40, but when you need to stop the runs, man. Like you had quickly going out there with down 12. He drives the ball 2 times in a row and creates 2 turnovers. He's a rookie, so I'm not saying get rid of quickly. I'm just saying in general, like if you have a veteran guy on there, or if you got an all-star guy on there, he's gonna be like calling for the ball. Give me the rock. You know, RJ's not demanding the ball. Randall's going out there, and you're an all-star, but you're not. I mean, sometimes we're playing ISO ball a lot with Randall, but if it's not working, shift. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. It was just a bad season all around. I mean, bad.
So as we lick our wounds and come back and we'll have a Knicks
tip my hat to the Hawks fans over there. You know,
I won't tip it, but I'll give you a little lift to the brim.
Oh, I didn't hear the whole thing. You said tip to the Hawks fans. I put my shit right back on.
Yeah,
I tip my hat to the Knicks season for being so good, but we got work to do.
Yep, and I think the offseason is going to be really interesting because the front office, for once, they have not only do they have cap space, but they have picks. So this is unlike most off seasons for the Knicks, where we're like, well, we traded Eddie Curry, so now we don't have draft picks for the next like 5 years as we stink. Or, you know, we're paying all this money. We gave all these picks for Carmelo, and we had nothing left. So, you know,
well, I heard you say you want to do the same thing. See, this is the repeat of all these years of me and you talking. You're like, let's just mortgage our future. No, don't mortgage the future. Go out there, add to what we have, improve on
how
what we
else
have.
are you going to add?
We're not mortgaging anything if we don't. My point is that add to what we have. Go out there. We just looked at a list of the top maybe 7 guys that looked interesting. Add a guy like Lonzo, right? Randall trading Randall is not mortgaging anything because we only got him for another year, and then we're probably gonna have to give him max, and he didn't show up. So get him out of here too. Get somebody that's better. Get a franchise that's willing to take him with maybe, you know, I don't know. Yeah, okay, maybe give him a draft pick and Randall. Get him out of here.
For who do you think? What do you think that we're able to parlay Randall in a draft pick into?
What was that?
What do you think that we parlay Randall in a draft pick into?
We
like,
give
that's hard.
Randall, Knox, Ntilikina, and some picks all for Kawhi, man. Oh well, Kawhi's gonna be free agent. Never mind.
Yeah.
I just think Kawhi's not coming here. So because again, there's just no reason for a guy like Kawhi to come out to the Knicks franchise. I mean, and really do what? I mean, you got to have a foundation that's better than what we have right now, and it's not a good enough foundation. So I would, you know, even as a Knicks fan, I wouldn't be like, we're gonna get him because it's just not gonna happen. So when we look past Kawhi, you look at what else we have. I mean, you have to.
That's being real though. That's
you know, it's realistic. You know. And I think what you put up with Lonzo, yeah, I agree. He's got to have somebody to pass the ball to, though, right? Because Lonzo don't go out there and drop 30 or 40 for you. He's dishing. He's definitely finding and creating and looking at opportunities. And we can't just have Bullock waiting in the corner. We got to have more than him. You know what I'm saying? You got to be ready to drain that 3. And, yes, he's been good, but we need to add to that weapon is what I'm saying. Add to that. And I will just say, Reggie Bullock, good player. I'm just saying he's a role player. We're just gonna call them what they are. And I'm not. Listen, I can't even come close to making even a fraction of what the man can make. And you know, great player. No disrespect. Let's just be real. But I'm just saying, role players are role players, dog. That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
Like I did. I've been thinking too many seasons as a Knicks fan to be you know not you guys but Taco trying to sell me a bill of goods on another mediocre season with 1 or 2 players that made 2 or 3 shots. I don't want 2 or 3 shots, bro. I don't want that no more. I want to win more than 1 game before I start shouting, bro. We want Brooklyn. I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying?
Meanwhile, like you said, you were probably in that group that was shouting now.
Hey,
so you know what? You're speaking out of both sides of your mouth right now.
You had to that comment. I said that to myself and yelling at wall with
and let's put this up there. Reggie Bullock, and let me make this larger so everyone can see here. This dude made $4.2 fucking million this season.
Yeah.
This guy's not someone that we're spending money on. He's not one of our primetime guys, but he was because of the way he played. He's going to probably get up to like $10 million this offseason, but he's not someone that, you know, should be playing 38 minutes. I agree. But he is someone that you can keep on this team. He is someone that you can build with. He is someone that, you know what, if Reggie Bullock, yes.
Oh my God.
He shouldn't be playing 38 minutes. But to say that he shouldn't be on the team, I don't agree with that. I don't think that we're going to completely get rid of this guy. He had a breakout season as a 3-and-D wing, and we have strong interest in retaining him for good reason. He's not a star, I agree, but as a role player, yes, we need someone that can help get him easy shots.
I agree. He could drain the three. I'm with keeping Bullock, but take him or leave him at 10 mil. I'm just saying, if we can go out there and get DeRozan, and I've got to give up like another.
We spent $4 million on him this season. You know what I mean? What? So it's not like we spent only $4 million on him this season.
That's not bad.
No, I got you. And also, it's really not giving up enough. I got you. I understand. The reality is, I'm just saying, listen, bro, we just need to build. We need a better foundation than what we got. You know,
we need a point guard and we need a wing.
Yeah, I agree. And we need more minutes out of Toppin to be a little bit better. Definitely had a little, rookie season, but I want to see more out of him because, they were calling him the Skywalker and blah, blah, blah. And he is getting better because he's a rookie. But I'm just saying, man, I got to see where is he fitting in? Like, is he going to be a dominant man in the paint, or is he going to get those open looks on the three in the wing, or what's going on? Like, what is he,
I think with getting a point guard, that's also going to help him because we don't have anyone that looks for him on the break. We don't have anyone that pushes the ball and tries to get transition buckets. Yeah. So I don't think we've actually seen what Obi could do.
I agree.
But when you look at this situation,
I like him a lot.
Yeah. Do you possibly move Randall in order to open up the spot for Obi?
Get out of here! Right now, his stock is not going to be any higher than now. And
I think it's his look. It went up, and now it's coming back down.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
people are tight.
It can't get any.
Lonzo all day. That's all it needs to be.
Lonzo.
All day. Yeah. Bring Lonzo to town. I think it'll create opportunities for a lot of those players with open looks. You know what I mean?
Yo, if we get Lonzo and DeMar DeRozan, we'll be seeing pretty.
Even Lonzo and Zion, man.
Randall now, thank you. Just because his stock is high, even if he had a bad playoff, I think his stock won't be any higher than what it is right now. You go out there and get, a true all-star.
You're making it sound easy. Like there's like a whole bunch of them.
Hey, I'm not in the front office. I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, but I just don't want you to ever sell me any more bill of goods.
Bill of goods? I don't understand. I've been the most pragmatic Knicks fan during this whole run.
Hey, no, for Brandon. See, Brandon.
Jimmy Buckets. Did you see the money that Jimmy Buckets wants? He wants full max money. $40 million. $40 fucking million. Don't fuck yourself, Jimmy Butler.
Wait.
You're worth $40 fucking million.
I wouldn't mind Jimmy.
Well, yeah, all day.
$40 to $50 million.
But you said we got cap space, right?
Not $50 million worth of cap space.
We're in New York,
bro.
We'll find it,
bro. Jimmy Butler. See, this is the type of tackle that I'm talking about.
$60 million. You're gonna spend $50 million of it for one guy that can't even shoot the three? He just got swept by Giannis. What is he gonna come?
But he made it to the finals.
We're gonna have. Oh, guess what? We're bringing back the 2011 Bulls. Hold on, let me go call Noah. Noah's gonna come back and play too. Who else do we want? Are we gonna get Kirk Heinrich? Who else do we need? We're just gonna bring back the whole Bulls team.
And how much success?
Out of here.
Todd Gibson, bros.
Todd Gibson's still here. Like, come on,
listen, because you're having a mental breakdown for no reason. But he's talking about Jimmy Buckets for all good reasons. Obviously, the Heat went to the NBA Finals. Did they not? Number one, Jimmy Buckets.
Did they not get swept in the first round? What? Just swept. They just got swept in the first round. Don't tell me what you did 2 years ago. What you do this year?
He should lower his price.
Swept. Yeah, he should, but he's not. He wants max.
You're acting as if, okay, my point in what we're talking about here, just stay focused real quick, because you're talking about bringing him to town, and he wasn't even on that list, right? Bring him to town. If you ask me and you trade Randall, get him in here, get a legitimate all-star that can create for us, and that's going to get us past the hurdle of the first round that we haven't seen in the last 20 years. If you're complacent like you always
get out of the first round, he couldn't do it for the Heat this year, and he got more talent than us.
Okay, but you're talking about it like he hasn't been out of the first round. And are we like we're legitimately talking about it like he hasn't been out of? He has, and he's been an all-star in every city that he's gone to. So yeah, bring Jimmy Buckets all day. I'm with that all day, Brandon. all day.
He's
Tough
31 years old.
Bring him to town.
Let's pull up Jimmy Butler's contract right now. So Jimmy Butler right now is, let's see if I can enlarge this. What do we see here? Jimmy is New York basketball, tough, gritty. That Bulls team was only stopped by LeBron. You know who else was stopped by LeBron? That Miami Heat team by Jimmy Butler. So guess what? They can't beat LeBron. You know, that's just face facts. And then the next thing that we got to look at is that team ain't going to beat the Nets. That team is not even going to come close to being the Nets. You're going to be the redheaded stepchild for a long time with a bad contract because if you look at this, he can take 32, 34, 36, 37 for a guy that can't win. He can't win. He's never won. He doesn't win chips.
Let's give real quick. Hold up, Scotty Dividends. Let's give the role to Taco, the talented Mr. Taco. All right, GM. You just became the GM of the New York Knicks. Okay. And what we were talking about here was improving the team and getting a legitimate all-star. And you have an opportunity to go get Jimmy buckets. You don't do it with a $60 million cap space. If Jimmy's out there and he is the all-star out there, why wouldn't you go out there and get him? Go.
Because right now, at 31 years of age, to get a guy like Jimmy Butler who isn't an efficient three-point shooter. Oh, well, yeah. What happened?
He's on the right side of 30. It's not like he's on the late side of
31. And how much money was he getting paid in that? We're looking at 31 for 34 million, 32 for 36 million, 37 for 33 years old for 37 million. And then he's looking at an extension that's going to be even more money than that going into the 2023 season.
Taco. We're talking about a $60 million cap space, right? If that's accurate, you can get a Jimmy bucket and get Alonzo.
You think he'll take 25 for 1 year?
No,
I don't think so. No, I don't think he would take 25. He wouldn't take a discount like that. That's crazy talk.
Oh, facts, it's gonna be lit because it's Nets and Bucks tomorrow.
Oh yeah, so no doubt. No.
That's gonna be crazy. But I mean, for the price, I don't do it. I don't do it.
I say bring Lonzo, bring Jimmy buckets. Even if you just simply because Jimmy's not a free agent, you would have to trade for him, right? I mean, so we get rid of Randall. We get rid of Randall. Whatever 10 million. How much is he getting paid? 10, 15 million? Randall's
getting paid 20 million.
20 million. Ship Randall out. That ups our cap space. It's not like we're going from 60 to nothing. We're gaining 20.
Yeah, you're right.
At the end of the day, we can still go out there and still sign 2 more players on top of Jimmy buckets.
Lonzo.
You can't just get rid of a guy like you have to basically like revoke your contract.
I'm sure that we'd have to give more than just Randall. Nobody's just going to trade that 1 for 1 like that.
Get rid of Ntilikina and Knox, please.
Oh,
Ntilikina is a free agent at the end of the season, so he's going to be pretty much gone. If he wasn't even played for it in the series, I don't see him coming back at all. I don't even see the point in keeping him. They could have traded him during the season, and they should have because let's face it, they weren't using him. So I don't understand why they kept him on the roster. You should have used him to get some sort of asset.
Probably to get coffee for the team or something.
Yeah, pretty much. I know he can't get a bucket, but you know what's really crazy? Frank Ntilikina had a better shooting percentage from 3-point than Jimmy Butler did this year. He only shot 24% from 3-point range. We're trading for a guy that shoots 24% from 3-point range. 24%.
So there's a Knicks team.
Reggie Bullock shoots better than that. What are you talking
man,
about?
Not Bullock.
How you gonna even compare him, bro? Come on. See, this
All
is
I said is 3-point shooting.
Nobody takes you serious when you're saying comments like that. Nobody takes you serious.
Saying comments like Jimmy Butler is a 24% 3-point shooter. Yes, that's statistical facts.
No, my point.
Reggie Bullock shot better from him than 3 this season.
Yes, I got you. My point is that Jimmy Butler is an all-star. He can go out there and create and get you buckets. That's why they call him Jimmy Buckets. 45%, obviously in field goal, but I would get him all day. If I have that much cap room and he's the only all-star, the only team willing to talk, I go out there and get him. Why not? See, all day. Thank you. This is why exactly. See,
listen, I'm not talking about Reggie Bullock as being the main guy, but what I'm saying is just simply for the main fact of he is a spot-up shooter in the corner. Jimmy Butler, when we saw it in the games versus the Lakers and versus even the Bucks, They weren't able to hit key shots. They weren't able to space the floor, and they weren't able to score. At this point in time, if we're going to spend $30 million, I need a guy that can consistently hit a three. I am not spending $30 million on a player that cannot hit the three. There is no way you spend that much money in this day and age for a player that's over 30 years of age and can't shoot the three. That's just my opinion.
Taco's basically saying he wouldn't have went out and got Barkley or Shaq in their era because they couldn't hit a three.
That's completely different because this is a different era. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's a different era. I get that it's a different era, but what you're saying doesn't make sense because if you got spot shooters, you got wing guys like what you're talking about with your Bullock. You got specialty guys, right? Jimmy Butler's gonna create obviously buckets for other players. Unlike Randall did. He was creating the double team, right? Jimmy Buckets is gonna get more double team than Randall is all day. So pop that to Bullock, or pop it to another three wing. And then those guys, let them hit their three because they're specialists, right? So you out here saying that like Butler is not an improvement. It's basically what you're saying because of the dollar sign. You're just saying
what you're telling me is if I make that move and I say no, Jimmy Butler is over 30 and he doesn't shoot the three. So yes, I said yes to CP3 2 years ago. CP3 can shoot the three. CP3 is a floor general, and he's actually someone that we've seen make their teams make improvements when you have CP3 on it. Yeah. I'm not saying that Jimmy Butler won't make a team better, but when you look at making this trade here with that contract and with the way he shoots in three, no, I don't trust that. No, I wouldn't make that move. Would I make that trade for CP3? Yes, I would. CP3 is a better shooter than him.
Honestly, with CP3, you would make that trade right now.
I would have made the trade 3 years ago when they went to OKC. Hell yeah. CP3 when he was on the low point. The reason why is CP3 can hit that three. CP3 is one of the most efficient scorers.
Go out there and sign the whole team as 3-point shooters because you're not going to get Steph Curry over here. All right. I know that's kind of what you want, but the reality is that you can create a team around not just only hitting three from every single player.
Really? Guess what? We couldn't hit a three to save our lives. So we're going to add some more guys that can't hit the three. Hey, guess what, guys? We already can't hit the three. Let me give you another one that can't hit the three. We're already complaining that we can't hit his shot. Let me give you another guy that does the same thing. No, if we have money, then we need to get shooting. We need to get someone that can shoot now. You got money? Spend your money on the shooter.
I can't wait till Brandon's on because his comments are just spot on and shut in all your comments.
They did. And guess who shot great from three? Reggie Bullock. Reggie Bullock was shooting great from three. We know that he's not a guy in the playoffs that's going to make it. And we can't
what we need is what he's trying to tell you. And it's what we're saying. It's not what we need. So at the end of the day, you get an all-star. Exactly, bro.
That's why I say go for Lonzo. That's why I say go for Lonzo.
Lonzo's not going to create the double team. We know what his game is that he's going to create an opportunity. Unless he's driving and you're going to be an offensive threat, which is what we need. We need a guy that is going to go out there and get that shot and not have four or five bad games when it matters. So I agree. We were talking to DeRozan earlier. You tell me DeRozan's, Jimmy Butler's.
I'd much rather do something like that because that doesn't cost you any assets.
See, but you're talking about it like what are we going to do with the money, Taco? You just said
in order to get Jimmy Butler, we have to make a trade. That means we have to give up picks and we have to give up players.
Get rid of Randall.
Yeah, because Miami's going to be like, you know what? Let's just swap out Jimmy Butler and Randall.
I get that.
We're going to give up picks and assets, and we're taking on a 31-year-old guy that can't shoot the three.
A proven player.
You give me DeMar DeRozan that only costs me cash to play the same role? Hell yeah, I signed up for that.
Yeah, that I do. What's our mad pick? Isn't it like what top?
We're getting 19 and 21. So the next pick.
So trade both of those picks. Get rid of them.
That's what I'm saying. I would deal both those picks. Am I going to deal both those picks and Randall to get Jimmy Butler? Hell no. I'd rather go after Bradley Beal. Can I make a deal for Lillard? Is there another all-star out there that I can trade for?
Definitely
can I get a guy that can shoot?
Definitely
I want
Lillard.
A guy that can shoot. That's what I want.
Lillard's not gonna.
That would be nice.
If someone creates the open shot, that's what Randall did earlier. Yeah, to use the right hand. Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
And I think at the end of the day, the biggest issue is, do you think that Randall is going to improve to the point where he can carry this offense and be the primary facilitator that he was all season? Because the entire offense was predicated on isolation ball with Julius Randle and him passing it off and making the right decision. And when playoff time came, that didn't happen, and it made all the other shots tougher. So desperately, do we need a point guard? Absolutely. Between Kyle Lowry and Lonzo and Mike Conley and one of these guys, we have to get them. We have to sign one of these guys. We have to.
We have to. Yeah, I mean, earlier in the season, I think, weren't we talking like Van Fleet? Like, all these just characters, right. I just, listen, Van Fleet, whatever, he is a good.
They didn't want to spend the money. They did not want to spend the money.
Yeah.
So now we carried it over, and we'll see if I think they spend this year. I do.
I hope so.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that we don't go into this season being the team with the lowest payroll.
Yeah.
Because if you're telling me that it's either go out there and get a guy that maybe we overspend, we have a good foundation. Okay, fine. If you want to keep Randall, then we need to go out there and get 2 free agents, not one, but at least 2. Yep. We can't just sit there and just go, oh, nothing. No. And if we strike out this time around with these mediocre free agents, because it's not like we're talking about all-stars. Kawhi's not coming here. And if you do get Kawhi, it would be with you saying, I got 2 guys, and we traded Randall, get rid of cap space, whatever the case may be. That's how you're going to get, some sort of a all-star like that. But Kawhi's not.
Yeah, and just for the record, Julius Randle was an all-star this year, so we did get an all-star.
I love that you like participation trophies, but just being
listen, you asked for an all-star. We have an all-star. You're looking for something different. That's all I'm saying.
Just having an all-star player on the team voted by fans, it doesn't mean
he wasn't voted by fans. He was voted by the coaches.
Technically, we made him an all-star. He wasn't an all-star before, though.
That's right.
True. And here's the thing, though, that yes, he was an all-star, but I don't want participation trophies as a Knicks fan. I'm tired of it already. I want to win Eastern Conference. Like, I want to get to the finals. And the only way
we're think that we have that chance this season?
No, I did it, but that's the problem. That you're just complacent with teams like this. That you're just like, all right. Yes, you are.
But if you're trusting the process,
are we not?
If you're trusting the process, then you have to have years like this.
No, man.
Yep.
Listen, I think this rant has gone on long enough. We need to hit them with well, I guess it is fitting with the end of the season being this way.
I definitely think that when you think about how the season ended, it was in unceremonious fashion, if you quote Walt Clyde Frazier.
Yeah.
I think that it was great that Marv Albert got to make the final call on TNT. I did listen to it for a little bit. It was nice hearing Marv. He's retiring, and on that note, the Knicks season is over. We lost in 5 games to the Atlanta Hawks. They beat us pretty much on the boards in the 3-pointers, and they came to the Garden and they did exactly what they said they were going to do. They left us home, and with that, I think I'll give everyone here their final thought on not only the game but the season, and we'll start it off with you over here, Scotty. Break it down for us. How you feeling?
Like I said, as a Knicks fan, I'm just happy we made it here. We definitely need to make some changes. I think that I'm not going to say that Randall didn't deserve to be an all-star, but the Knicks this season as a team made him an all-star, and what they did was magical, but we need some more magic. we need some real magic. And I think that because of what the Knicks did this season, I think we're going to get some real magic. So look forward to the Knicks next season. Just like we were saying last season, the Knicks are going to make it. The Knicks are going to make it. We made it. Now let's make it even better and higher. And I think that's what we're going to do. And mark my words, save this. We're going to get a star. I really feel it. So I'm glad of what they did. I'm disappointed, but not surprised.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And how about you, Dave?
I mean, you guys heard my rant earlier. I've been hot. And I've been not, because it's just too many seasons. Too many seasons. It's a repeat of the same thing over and over. And I'm not complacent with one win in the playoffs. I mean, we didn't drop balloons this time. Hoorah. It's the only real big difference, right? But at the end of the day, what I'd like to see as a pained Knick fan, okay, is to go out there and we need to pick up 2 of these free agents. And I don't want to hear none of this. We going into the season with, with cap space money. Spend all that cap space money. Let's get an all-star here. And if we got to get rid of Randall, get rid of Randall. And listen, all props to Randall. Thank you for being an all-star in New York. We appreciate it. Definitely, you made some noise here, but you didn't make noise when it mattered most. And in New York, the pressure is on. It's the big lights for a reason. We call this the championship city for a reason. We got the champion of heroes. We want to see the Knicks walk down that parade. It's enough. It's enough. So next year, what I'd like to see is us get at least 2 free agents. And if we don't, it's a strikeout again. And I don't want to hear that we got into the playoffs again. This is just nonsense. So that's my final thought. I apologize for the craziness, but it's just how I feel. I'm pissed.
Nope.
I'm pissed. I didn't even get 6 games. I didn't even get to 6 games with the Knicks. I saw 5, and 4 of them were terrible.
And the definition of fan is a fanatic, and that is what we all are here. As Dave said, we've been waiting years for this. Decades sounds better than years because it's really been decades. It's been since the 70s since Knicks won. So we're hitting 50 years. We're going bicentennial now. But I think to wrap it up for me for the season, personally, I thought this Knicks team was going to be a bottom 5 roster. I was, hyped up for these rookies, as everyone knows. And they shocked me all the way through. They really played above their pay grade every single night. They played hard basketball that, they weren't the best, but they wanted it the most. And when it came to the playoffs, that didn't translate. That skill over will argument that everyone likes to make, that, just get in there and get it done. Sometimes it doesn't happen when you face a more talented team, and that's what happened with us. So going forward, I think the biggest thing that we have to get is we need a point guard. There's no 2 ways around it. We can't keep going decade upon decade without having a true point guard. The last point guard that I really remember was probably Jason Kidd, who was really good for us, and he only did it for like a year or two. Before that, maybe we had Stephon Marbury, but we haven't had point guards, and we haven't had success. And this league has been transitioning to ball-dominant guards who can get their own shot and create for others. So if we don't get that, we're not going anywhere. And I think the 2 names that I look at that we have to get, if we're looking at free agency, it's going to be Lonzo Ball. It's going to be Kyle Lowry. You have to get me one of those 2 guys. I have to have one of those 2 guys in the offseason. You cannot come back to me without – if you come back with Mike Conley instead, then I'm cool. But I need one of those 3 guys. And then on the trade market, I look at a guy like Karl Anthony Towns. And I say, if I can finagle a guy like that on this team, I would love to make a move like that. If I look at a guy like Damian Lillard's going to be experiencing a real difficult time. He's hitting 30 years old now. The Trailblazers aren't winning. The Knicks have shown some life. At the very least, get on Broadway. If you're going to perform, have a crowd. You went 12 of 15 from 3-point range, and they had you on the secondary channel, bro. The secondary channel. So you know what? Dame Lillard deserves Broadway, and I think this might be the season if the Denver Nuggets win. So from now on, I'm rooting for Denver to beat the hell out of the Trailblazers and force Dame Lillard to say, you know what? Send me to New York, because he said he'd come to New York. Yeah, he's gonna leave there. Come here to New York and let's get it done, Dame. We got you, Dame Dollar. We want you. If I make the trade, it ain't for Jimmy Butler. It's for Dame Dollar. Here's 10 picks. Here's my firstborn. What else do you need? Give me fucking Jimmy Butler. I mean, not Jimmy Butler, fucking Damian Lillard. That's my point. That's the guy I go for. If I'm going for a guy, that's who I go for.
Give me a Cinderella story with bringing Melo back to the Knicks with Dame. Finish out
give me Rose, Dame, Carmelo. Give me RJ still. Obi. Sprinkle a little quickly on there when you need it. Like,
you said it perfect.
Salt Bay style. But on that note, we hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be doing some Knicks videos during the season, because now is when the real season starts for the Knicks. Because guess what? It was just all a matter of when we'd lose because we knew we were in a championship. This team, this offseason is when the work kicks in. There's no more. There's no more leeway now. We made the playoffs as a 4 seed with this team. You have to do either close to this. Like if you're a 6 seed next season, I'm not going to complain. We'll as long as we're in the playoffs, the top 6 seed, I think we're all good with it. But in the playoffs next year, we got to be competitive. This can't be no one and out situation. And I think that's what we're going to be looking at. And until then, we are out. That's Scotty Dividends. He's Electric Dave. I'm the talented Mr. Taco. We're on the Daily Sporting. Until next time, peace, love, and
Hey, David and Taco, they bring the heat. All about UFC, way more than a fantasy. Let's see who going toe to toe. Throw down on the mat. Check the replay, run it back. We gotta check the stats. Hey, do this every day. We ain't come to play. This is sports talk, and we love talking MMA. Everything fantasy sports. Dopest show that I know. With Electric Dave and talented Mr. Taco. Let's go. Hey, G.